The GoPro Hero 10 Black.
99 problems.
Staying cool isn't one of them. We feel the need to readdress it, to address some of the comments that have come in on the channel, but also to tell you what GoPro themselves have said and what some of our users, some of our followers' users' experience of that camera is and their issues.
So you're hoping that some of the haters that are also subscribers will become lovers once more.
I don't care.
He does care.
I do care, really.
Take it back. We care. Give it to us, AJ.
Well, we got
let's start with a jingle. Give it to me, AJ. Break it down. Problems with GoPro.
Yes. So we know for a fact, as we addressed in our last video, that the GoPro Hero 10 Black suffers from serious overheating issues, particularly at the highest resolutions and frame rates, and particularly indoors where there is less airflow. And we're not talking about hot rooms. We're not talking about putting it in a closed, sealed space. We're talking a room like this, quite a big room, that's overheating in very short amounts of time. And that is not advertised in the product, that it has to be moving at all times in order to keep recording.
Who's saying it has to keep moving all the time?
GoPro themselves.
But they didn't advertise it?
No. So they've responded. There's a publication called Tech Radar if you're unsure. Very good website. Check them out. They approached GoPro themselves and said, you've seen these reports of it overheating. Do you care to comment? And they responded to them. And so I'll quote them here. We'll pick it apart. The GoPro Hero 10 Black is engineered to support what we know the majority of Hero owners use the camera for.
Action.
To shoot shorter clips in environments with natural airflow.
Oh, so, okay. I would consider this new one for the motorbike.
Yes.
Tick.
And where would you put it? Maybe, would you put it behind a windshield for protection?
Well, that's where it currently mounts.
Yes, yeah. Or for those, we know someone who has a car channel and there's a lot of driving footage, point of view driving.
Yeah.
So obviously they mount it behind the windscreen in an indoor environment where there's no like wind.
Maybe put your fans on. That's what GoPro is saying.
So obviously the GoPro Hero 10 is not for anyone that wants to shoot anything that isn't outdoors with a lot of air moving.
When they say shorter clips, so I might go 40 minutes, an hour before even looking at it again. So that's not me.
Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? GoPros and action cameras in general, in my mind, have always been, you stick it on something where action's happening, hit record, and you don't have to think about it. It's got a really wide point of view, field of view, sorry. It auto-focuses. Yeah. Go.
Or maybe
record for like half an hour.
Whack it on my helmet, start recording, and I'm going down a slope, 10, 15 minutes, I'm at the bottom. Is that too long, or is that short enough?
Okay, so they went on to suggest that GoPro's own research has suggested that 75% of videos captured on the GoPro are less than 1 minute long.
Oh.
I mean, technically, I would say that's probably right with the amount of like stop, start, fake record, like, oh, did that work? Check it. Oh, yes, it worked.
So the GoPro's actually aimed for people that want to upload to TikTok?
TikTok, yeah, or stories, shorts. To that end, being able to record 5.3K at 60 frames per second for 20 minutes shouldn't be a problem for the average user.
So they've made the camera for 75% of their audience.
So 25% of you that buy it, it's going to be useless for.
Yeah.
Waste £500.
And that's probably where our problem is.
Yeah. You can also record 4K 60 for 25 minutes if you need a little longer, but don't want the maximum resolution.
Okay, that's still not going to help.
But you advertised it as a 5K camera.
But with this latest piece of marketing advice,
yes,
I think I'm looking at the older model.
Well, the poster's not as catchy. That trailer's not as good, is it?
No.
I'll carry on with what they said. This is the last sentence. Recording for longer is also possible in scenarios where there's greater airflow, which will apparently improve the camera's thermal performance beyond the 20-minute cutoff.
Is that going to cover me for my 40-minute ride?
Well, it could do, as long as the airflow is sufficient.
So it's got to be helmet mounted.
Yeah, it can't be behind a windscreen.
Why were you speeding, sir? Airflow problems.
I wanted to keep the camera on.
Yeah.
See, if I don't maintain a speed above 30 miles an hour,
Fire.
it just melts my helmet. I'm going to call it on this. Bullshit.
Oh dear.
Total and utter waffle. If they had said any of this in the trailer or in the specs or even on the website listing, no one would rush out and buy it because you'd have a big question mark over it. Is it going to work for me?
Yeah, guys, we've been listening to our community.
Yes.
And we are, can you imagine it now? First of all, I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Like Tim Apple.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm there.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Cook. No,
Yeah.
Tim Apple from now.
Tim Apple.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Apple.
So our latest product, we've been listening to our consumers.
Yes.
Not all of them, 75% of them. And they're the ones that they don't like to record for over a minute. And they tend to be doing stuff moving fast, jumping out of planes.
Right.
But reaching the ground with less than a minute.
Yeah.
So those consumers.
Okay.
75%. It sounds niche, but when I say 75%, it sounds great.
Yeah.
It? So imagine 4 people in a room.
Yeah.
And I say 75%. I think that's probably the size.
And I think the one person in that room that's paid £500 to get into it is going to feel a bit annoyed.
Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't for you. It's like, well, I've bought a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to go, though. Nonsense.
Oh. But yeah, if they sold it on, we've made it for our community. We've listened to people and they want shorter recording time.
Yeah.
And they don't mind a camera that's maxed out in spec as long as it can record a little bit.
Well,
so that's what we've done.
Before I move on to what real life review there actually is of this.
Right.
When Canon released the R5 and it overheated when recording in 8K, I think it was a 15-minute clip and it would stop. And they came out and said, most people don't record for more than 15 minutes on a DSLR at 8K, so it's fine. The camera community went absolutely spare at them. They got grilled, they got ribbed, they were the butt of all the jokes.
Yep.
People were like, don't buy it, go to Sony. There was all sorts. GoPro do exactly the same thing, and what do I hear on the internet?
Nothing. Pure silence.
Exactly. Absolutely nothing. Why is there not more anger surrounding this? Because it's the consumer's anger and us as reviewers and journalists' anger that makes them admit their mistake and fix it. And if we don't hold them to account, they won't fix it.
I don't think they're going to fix it.
No, it's too late.
They've come out and defended it.
What could they physically do to fix this?
Bigger body.
It's too late, isn't it?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Just make the Plus model and make it bigger.
Yeah, literally, that's what they could do. There is a slim chance, and it's very slim, that the coding of how the operating system works is inefficient, and that they could make it more efficient. Perhaps it's trying to do too many processes at once when it doesn't need to, and that in a firmware update they could slim that down, make it more efficient, and then the thermal performance would be better.
Right.
But I mean, I'm scraping to find that justification.
That's a wing and a prayer, definitely.
The likelihood is we've got a tiny camera that's totally sealed and water, dust, all of that proof, that's got a brand new processor in it. Hello. That's processing huge amounts of data in order to get all this performance, the horizon stabilization, the hyper smooth 4 point whatever it is. It's doing all these things at massively high resolutions. It's just too small in order to create that much heat for those many processes.
I think that's definitely the case.
So then
surely by being a sealed unit,
yeah,
so that it has water, dustproof, that's definitely going to be part of the problem, surely.
Absolutely is. And it has to be, because it's an action camera. It has to be waterproof. It has to be dustproof.
Or maybe not. Maybe you don't need it to be water or dustproof anymore, purely because you don't need it on for very long.
Yeah, 1 minute. I mean, it's not much.
Just be more careful.
I'm curious as to whether it will overheat underwater.
Do you want to try?
I would be, if they're willing to send one, I'd be willing to try it.
Is there a subscriber count or a like count that would make you do it.
Or just buy one and do
Just for
it.
a live video.
If this video got 500 likes, because I know that's unrealistic,
Okay.
I would actually buy one with my own money, not even your credit card.
That's great.
And I would test this to destruction.
Okay. I've got 2 accounts. I got mine and my work account. So we're just looking for
498.
498
Right, okay.
people to
That's good.
join me.
Yeah. Okay. I wish I hadn't said that.
Yeah. And I just got to think of different scenarios. Maybe you in the bath, our film,
Right. Is
Just
that
for
just because you want to see me in the bath?
comedy value. Yeah.
Okay.
I put a rubber duck in and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, good.
And then just
Just for modesty.
dunk. Yeah, a small rubber duck.
A very small rubber
Yeah.
duck. So I'm going to call total BS on their rebuttal to that. And in it, there's so much to say that 75% is to exclude 25% of their customers, essentially. And I know plenty of people, first-hand experiences, that film with a GoPro indoors or inside a non-airflow environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how they were advertised for so long. I mean, you stick them up and just document incidental stuff.
The worry is, even when it's outdoors, let's say you've got it on a mountain bike.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you like to use yours.
Yes.
So you go, great brand.
Yeah.
I've got a 15-minute track top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's going to fit in that record time.
Yeah.
Dustproof, waterproof.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You take to the trails and it's still overheating because it's a hot day. So
Or where you've put it, it's just not getting quite enough air.
quite enough airflow. Yeah, I'd just say,
Becomes unreliable.
yeah, then you're better off spending money on an older model.
Yes, definitely.
And this becomes the biggest.
I'm going to
piece
add
of-
more fuel to this fire. Rather than us just picking apart GoPro's words, I went out into our comments on YouTube and just
never
asked.
go to the comments section, AJ.
No, I treaded there because I find the negative comments quite funny, and I like interacting with them just because there's some kind of sick kind of humour to it.
Yeah.
Especially when we're called clickbite.
Yeah.
What's a clickbite?
If you're going to give a shit,
Spell it right.
spell it right, dick.
Exactly.
Comment.
But so I went
New
out.
comment being entered.
Yeah. Went out into there and asked anyone who was slightly agreeable if they've got the camera and what their experiences are of it. And we got a few.
Oh, that's good.
Real life, hands-on experiences with this camera.
And hopefully this is balanced as well. Hopefully there's some people that's going, you know what, guys, you're totally wrong.
No, none.
Okay.
All negative.
That's not really helpful.
But maybe
from a journalistic point of view, we needed.
Yeah, it's a biased test, to be fair, because the video was suggesting that we're addressing the overheating issue in the first place. So it's probably going to attract people with an issue.
Okay, so let's assume out there's people with no issue.
Let's assume this is the 25% of people.
Okay, that's who
Do you know?
we've got.
Yeah, just 1/4. That's fine. Angel Solanas says that their Hero 10 Black overheats 5K in 17 minutes and 4K 60 in 33 minutes and then just shuts itself off. A user called Gary, no surname.
Wow, that is a very simple handle.
Interestingly, talking about mountain biking, like you were just saying, or dirt bike trail riding, which are maybe motorbikes actually. Anyway, got the Hero 10 Black a few days ago. I do a lot of dirt bike trail riding. I was recording in 2.7K.
Good choice.
At 120. It overheated, I'd say at around 45 minutes into the recording, whilst riding, not at high speeds, but definitely with plenty of airflow over the camera.
So, do you know what? I don't think he's too upset about that. I think he's going, it went on for a fair time. I'm happy.
Yeah, but you would hope you buy it so you can capture the whole event without thinking about it. That's the point of these things for most people.
If you're in the 25%.
Yeah. But he was outdoors, plenty of airflow, even though he says not at high speeds, but plenty. So it was obviously on his helmet or on the outside of the bike.
I like Gary's feedback.
So his was overheating. The Guthrie boys. Now they are quoted as long-time GoPro Hero 7 Black users, and they are massively disappointed with their Hero 10 Black that they've just got. It overheated in less than 19 minutes in my cold office. Now, to prove a point, they tested it side by side with their Hero 7 Black and also the DJI Osmo Action. The Hero 7 Black lasted 32 minutes, whilst the Osmo Action was unlimited.
Oh.
Just carried on until the battery ran out. And then the most detailed account is from Secret Stuff. And I don't know if they've just got a dud unit perhaps, but they've got a lot of issues beyond overheating as well. Powers off while charging, can't turn it back on. It turns itself on whilst charging. Overheats after 34 minutes and then turns itself off with the battery still at 30% at 4K. And in 1080, it overheats in 1 hour and then turns itself off with the battery still at 15%. When it's charging, the display will switch off and nothing happens. Only taking the battery out helps. The battery percentage meter doesn't update itself properly. So when you're charging, it won't show how much is left. And my favorite one is if you record without the battery, you can't see how long record time you have left. The display is just black. When you stop recording, it says cold battery alert. The battery's at 0 degrees, but there's no battery in the camera. I'm using USB cable.
Go back to his handle. What was this guy's name?
At Secret Stuff.
At Secret Stuff. I value your comment, but that is quite a long list of negativity. Now, Mr. At Secret Stuff or Mrs. or they, them, or however your prefix should be assigned.
Yes, good.
If you search YouTube for the embargo date of the release of this item, you'll see many popular YouTubers covering the release of the GoPro. None of them have covered this. So please do head to their comment section and just ask, why is it you're not talking about these issues I'm coming across? Thank you.
And jokes aside, that is totally the point of what we're doing here. Because no one else is doing it.
Well, you'll get slammed for it. This isn't a popular video.
No.
Especially because we actually own GoPros, like GoPros.
Yeah. Are GoPro fans?
Semi-fans.
Yeah.
I'd be more of a fan if they sent us stuff for free.
Yo, GoPro, after this video.
But not so much if they tell us we can't say the honest reviews
the honest truth
stuff. And, we've used GoPros for giveaways in the past. And they've had a great response and they've been good for us. We did have to buy them.
Yes.
So we're not that cool just yet.
No.
But no, I appreciate it. GoPro it's a hot thing. And if you want to be in with a brand, then you can't say anything about the brand.
Yep.
So just don't cover it. Don't cover it. I can't promote your product because it's not.
It's substandard.
Yeah.
I would say you can probably tell the ones that were incentivized, let's say, not necessarily paid, but incentivized to make their videos on it because of the lack of negativity in that video. If someone's putting out a piece of journalistic content, a review, hands-on experience, and there's no negative points about it, something's fishy. Because there's no such thing as a perfect camera or a perfect product. There's always something.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it's rammed with the latest of technology where it's like just innovation everywhere, then what am I missing?
Yeah, there's something.
It's going to be battery life. There's going to be something. So just tell me that.
It might just be it's really expensive for what it is.
It's expensive. That's normally the negative that goes hand in hand with these huge leaps forward.
And talking of expensive, before we finish up, £480 in the UK. I imagine it's around the same in the US, around $500 for a product that will only work for 75% of its users, according to GoPro themselves. How many units have they sold, do you think? How much money are they ripping off the camera community by? Because if that's to be believed that 25% of their users are going to get a substandard product, if they've sold, I don't know, $1 million worth, which seems very low.
Well, the good and the bad here is you're better off now going out and buying one of the older cameras.
Yeah.
Because there's a bigger brother now released, so it's going to be a bargain price, hopefully. All the hype train is on the latest, so that's in your favour. The bad news is, if you bought into this early, going, I love this brand, and I'm going from the 5 to the... Those that have jumped in and taken the leap, they've got burnt.
Yeah, they have.
I'd be using my my refund policy on this.
Yeah, depending on where you live, the distance selling laws... I know in the UK and in Europe, you have 14 days.
14 distance.
Return it for no reason, just because you didn't get a chance to inspect it before you bought it. I would do that 100%. And if you're beyond that, I would argue that under the warranty that you should get your money back on this.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's not right. Anything else to add?
I'm just gutted. I'm
genuinely disappointed.
There's no way you want to tear down a product.
No,
there's no way. Especially when it's something that you go, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
of course you want it to be amazing. I see that as a new toy that I can put on my wish list, and something that ultimately I will have. But there's no way I'd buy that.
No,
and I don't even know if I'd buy a revised version of it now.
Too much of a question mark over it, and the fact that they weren't upfront about it.
Yeah.
Because they could have just delayed the launch.
Who's their competitor right now?
DJI.
Are they?
If they're going to release a new Osmo Action.
If they jump back in.
They could do. There's an open goal for them here.
Now is a good time. If I was DJI, I would be seriously considering that move. There's no one else that's really strong enough to jump straight in on this.
No.
There's a few...
Sony tried it, didn't they?
Brands that are reputable, but there's no one with the advertising might of GoPro.
No.
Yeah, genuinely gutted. That's how I'd sum it up. It's overpriced for something that is inferior to the last one they brought out.
I think that's pretty accurate. The potential for it to be huge is there. All the features are amazing. When it works, and the stuff I've seen of it working, it is incredible for an action camera. That's a big caveat. But this is too big an issue to overlook when you're considering buying it. So if you're watching this because you're on the fence, I'd say hold off, wait for the 11, or if you're desperate,
could you imagine
get the 9. And that's, I think, how I'm going to press the red button.
Oh. That wraps up our depressing GoPro update.
Yes.
It was good.
Yeah.
Good to talk about it with a cup of tea, AJ.
Well, it's a cup of tea kind of time. So thanks for joining us for this rant about the GoPro Hero 10 Black.
Do you know what it has done? It's made me realise I still want a GoPro, just not that one.
Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And if you are a Hero 10 Black owner, let us know your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear it, good or bad, agree with us or not. Just don't hate on us. We're just trying to tell the truth.
Or do. It's quite funny.
That too. That's fine. So until the next time, Pete.
Thanks for listening, those that listen. Thanks for watching, those that watch. And remember, fun show love. Be careful where you put them.
I love that I totally caught you off guard with that, and your brain just went, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Thanks everyone. Thanks. You totally gone then.
Bye.